Junior Alvarado, Sovereignty has been looking like an absolute bear all throughout the week. How happy are you with his progress?
Very excited. I think this is what I wanted kind of to see him. I knew he has ability. I knew he can run a little bit, but I always thought that there was way more there. But Billy never had to get more of him since he was doing everything so easily. But I just think coming into the Derby, we're about to see probably his best race yet.
I know he wasn't 100% fit when he was able to win the Fountain of Youth. How fit do you think he is at this point, and comparatively speaking to his fitness point at the Fountain of Youth?
I'm just gonna say this. When I saw him working 2 weeks ago, he worked min flat and gallop out 112 and 125 the 7 furlong. That's not him. He won't do that never. He would have never done it. And like I said, that just made me realize that he probably the light just went out on him, and that Billy just tightened his screw on him. And like I said, I just think we're sitting in his best race to come.
He's been looking very aggressive in the mornings, especially in his works, pulling very much to the pole. So that wasn't really typical for him about a couple months ago.
No, a couple months ago, I probably would be able to put my kid on it. He was a very laid back, chilling. Like I said, I just think, the light hadn't gone on him. I just think he was doing everything so easily that, Bill didn't have the urge to tie him up. He was just good and fast at that point. But I just think, going into the Derby, he did a couple tricks with him, and now I think, like I said, we're sitting in a good run.
Knowing that he's feeling so good and gotten more aggressive and that light bulb has gone on, how does that change your riding in the race?
No, I just think he's going to run the same way. I just think that's his styles now, and I don't want to change that. I just know that, when I press the button, I know what I'm going to have underneath me. And like I say, he loved this track. He ran already over this track, and I think he gets a good hold of this track, which is like a plus, I would say. And yeah, just very excited for Saturday now.
Junior, he's an unbelievable horse. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Andy.